And it's a good thing I like chickens because we're about to have probably 75 or 80 of them here in a week or two. Morning, guys. We're gonna go check on our broody hen. Well, it's rained more, and we're expecting even more rain. I know what you're thinking, that's exactly what we don't need, right? I can either complain about the rain and all the flooding that we've gotten this year, or I can take it as a challenge and as a blessing in disguise. Decided I'm very willing to submit to whatever God sends to us. And we'll learn from the experience. Anyway, at least the animals are dry and safe. I'll go milk Buttercup and we'll check on that chicken.
Ginormous now.
Are you afraid of her a little bit?
Yeah. Only because she bit me one time. Now I'm like Spider-Man, but I got bit by a pig. And it turned me into Pigman. Now I like food more, and I'm always more hungry all the time.
Alright, here she is. Our cute little broody hen. Still dedicated as ever to her little clutch of eggs. Somebody had some questions for us, and we thought of a few of our own, all about broody hens. So, first of all, a broody hen essentially just means that she's finally decided that she wants to sit on these eggs and incubate them long enough that they can hatch. So a broody hen is a hen that's decided that she wants to sit on her eggs and incubate them for about 3 weeks. In fact, it's pretty close to 21 days exactly. it's generally expected that you'll get an egg a day from a chicken. And so they'll lay every day, whether it's fertilized or not, whether there's a rooster around or not, they'll still lay eggs. And there's no difference between a unfertilized egg and a fertilized egg as far as how it tastes, how it smells, how it looks. As far as we can tell, there's no difference. As far as humans can tell, there's no difference. Okay. Hens will go broody sometimes, whether there is a rooster around or not. A lot of people have experienced this. You'll get a broody hen that wants to hatch these eggs that are unfertilized, and this poor creature doesn't know that there is nothing that will ever come of that. They'll just get some rotten eggs eventually. But with the roosters that we have, we've got 6 or 7, maybe more. And from the activity that I've seen, it's pretty safe bet that every one of our eggs from all of our hens is fertilized. So any egg that gets sat on for 3 weeks is going to hatch into a baby chick. Now, as I mentioned, chickens lay about 1 egg a day. So here's what happens. So they'll choose a spot and they'll start laying these eggs, and for about 10 or 15, sometimes more days, they'll lay an egg a day until they have enough that they feel like, it's a nice little clutch of eggs, nice little family that they're going to start. A lot of times, though, they will steal eggs from other chickens because it's very rare that only one hen will use the same nest box. I'll show you what I mean. Here's a little clutch of brown eggs, mostly, but there's 2 different shades of brown eggs. That means 2 different chickens. Also, there's a green egg in here from an Americana. So there's at least eggs from 3 different hens there. Looks like the same story over here. There are eggs here from at least 3 different chickens. So they've got these 10 or more eggs that they're sitting on. And here's the magical thing about it. None of those eggs will start to form into chicks until the hen gets broody and decides to start sitting on them. And about 24 hours or so, a day or maybe 2 after she starts sitting on them, they will start to divide. The cell will start to divide, and it will start to create a chick. Before that, it will never start forming into a chick until it's incubated at the proper temperature for a certain amount of time. Pretty cool. So the oldest egg in the clutch will hatch at the exact same time, exact same day anyway, as the newest egg in the clutch. Even if the older one is 10 days old and the newest one is only 1 day old when she starts sitting on them. 3 weeks later, they will all hatch on that same day. Pretty amazing. Usually there's 1 or 2 rotten eggs in a clutch. Usually what that means is that one of those eggs has gotten too far away from the mother, maybe rolled out a little bit too far, it got a little cold, and it died. However, the others will grow into chicks. We will have chicks. And this particular hen has been sitting on her eggs for a little over 2 weeks now. So we're very close. We're about a week away from having chicks if everything goes right. And we're really excited. It's so much easier to have a hen raise her chicks than to go down to the feed store and have these chicks in your house under a brooding lamp and having to feed them 2 or 3 times a day. I much prefer to have the hens do the job. That's what they're built to do, that's what they like doing. And they do a better job of it anyway. The other thing is, when hens decide to raise their chicks, they teach them better street skills. I mean, for lack of a better way of explaining it. These little chicks can survive cold better. They know how to forage for food. They know how to eat grass and greens and find bugs. It's amazing. They know how to eat grit on their own because the mother hen teaches them all those things just by example. And it's very difficult for a human when raising chicks to put in that amount of work. No one's going to spend 16 hours a day with their chicks teaching them how to eat. But those hens do. What do you think about all these crazy chickens, Kitty? They're noisy, aren't they? In our experience, we've been more likely to get broody hens in the springtime, but it seems to happen in all the warm months. If a hen is truly broody, if she's going to be a dedicated mother all through those 3 weeks, There's almost nothing you can do to scare her away. I've read in some places that you're supposed to move these broody hens and their clutch. In our experience though, and all the times we've done that, the chicken wakes up, she sees that she's in a new place, and she kind of freaks out a little bit. And she'll just get up and walk away and leave that whole clutch. So again, this is our experience. We have just left them alone, and if they're dedicated mothers, they will stay there. And I don't know, to me it's kind of a test of their dedication. If they're gonna stay there and while we're bothering them, we're around every day to feed the other chickens, other animals are around them all the time, bothering them. But if they can handle that, then they're going to be good mothers, and I say better mothers than the ones that have to be moved and have to be babied kind of in order to be good mothers. So we just let them be where they are, and they do better. So the breeds that have been best mothers for us have been the Americana, the black Australorp, which is the one you see, the one that's broody right now, and the Buff Orpington. Although our Buff hasn't ever actually sat on a clutch, but we can tell that she's kind of got that instinct in her. Again, just our experience. And what kind of experience do we have? Well, we've been raising chickens for 13 years, and before that my family had chickens for 15 years or so. I kind of am familiar with chickens, and speaking of that, chickens are great pets. They're really easy to take care of. Chickens have great personalities. They're really fun to watch. They're kind of funny. They do have individual personalities. They're not just a big collective. Anyway, they're fun. I highly recommend them. And it's a good thing I like chickens because we're about to have probably 75 or 80 of them here in a week or two. We've already got about 55 chickens altogether. That means 50 hens, 5 or 6 roosters, and yeah, we're about to have a lot more. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this. I'll go in and see what the kids are up to, but we'll see you later. Bye-bye.